Hello, I'm Georgia Hampton, and this is my abstract for Senior May. You're gonna have to excuse my voice if it sounds a little weird. I'm sort of sick. For my project, I decided to work for Tawny Thew, who is a family friend, and she owns a bunch of shoe stores all around the place called the Pink Pump. They started in Bloomfield Hills, and now they have a bunch of them in like Ann Arbor and Birmingham. Going into this project, a lot of my friends asked me if I was going to sell shoes all day, and I'm just going to clarify right now that I did not sell shoes all day for 3 weeks. Although in a weird way that, general misunderstanding sort of did foreshadow the fact that I was going to change pretty much everything I was going to do for Tawny, because going in, I thought I was going to do one thing, and then it completely changed by the end. So basically, at the start of this project, this is what I thought I was going to do. I was going to load boxes, I was going to unload boxes, I was going to do window displays, I was going to do some social marketing stuff for the Pink Pump's upcoming website, I was going to do some work picking out an outfit for Wendy Starland, who is a singer who's doing this sort of collaboration for a charity with the Pink Pump, who also coincidentally discovered Lady Gaga, and the outfit I would have to pick for her is for a wedding for Dylan Lauren, who is Ralph Lauren's daughter. Basically, I was going to act as a personal assistant in order to see how life is when you own your own business. And while my expectations were correct, I did do a lot of the things that I said I was going to do. Most of my work was doing something completely different. A few days into the project, I was going to a meeting with Tawny, and she was mentioning how she needed to have a professional photographer to take a bunch of promotional shots and shots of the buildings and shots of products for her website that was going to launch late in June. And considering the fact that I'm going to college for photography, I figured, why not? So I basically just said to her, hey, so I can do that for you, And she was like, oh, okay. And so it began. This conversation basically shaped what I was going to do for the next 2.5 weeks. So this is basically how it went. For pretty much all of my days, my day would be split up between working in the store, doing more clerical work, like tagging things and censoring things, and then taking photos. And then in the morning of the next day, I would probably edit those photos either at home or in the store. And then for the rest of the day, I'd go do errands or take more photos. Some of my days would be all editing photos and taking photos, and some of my days would be all transporting things or driving around in the Pink Pump Mobile, but pretty much that's how my days went. So basically what happened was I went into the Senior May project thinking, oh, I'm just going to go and learn how it is like to be a business owner and just work on your own. And then I ended up finding out more what it's going to be like for me as a photographer. I'm actually really, really happy that changed because my goals changed. At first, I really just wanted to see what it would be like to be a business owner. And by the end of it, I was just really happy to know what my life was going to be like. Because to be honest, this was the first experience I had with a real job. And I was so happy that it could be a job about photography. This job also showed me a lot about how to be self-reliant because I was the only person who knew how to use Photoshop in my workplace, so I had to do everything on Photoshop, and I don't really like Photoshop, but this job made me have to use it and have to learn how to use it really well. And I'm glad that I had that experience because it showed me that in my life, I'm going to have to do a lot of things that I don't know how to do or I don't really want to do, and then just do it anyway because people are expecting it from me, and I was actually really proud with the work I did. This job did teach me a lot about being a freelance photographer, and I think that in the future I'd rather work with an actual photographer so I can learn sort of the tricks of the trade. But this did teach me a lot about how it would be to work with a client that wants you to do something and doesn't really know how to do it themselves, and you just have to figure it out. And let me just tell you, Google became my best friend because honestly, sometimes I just didn't know how to do things and I'd have to figure it out and do the best I could. But I'm really happy to say that I'm proud of the work that I did. I mean, it's promotional. It's not like this crazy artistic, emotional description of my soul amazingness. But I mean, I had never done it before and I did it and I'm very proud of it. And actually, some of the work that I did in these past 3 weeks is going to be used in Juxtapose magazine and 944 magazine. So I'm going to be a published photographer. And if someone had told me at the beginning of my senior May project that I was going to end up being a published photographer at the end, I would not believe them. So basically, in conclusion, while this was sort of a surprising turn in my internship, I was really happy with how it turned out. And in the future, I'd really like to work with photographers so that I get a better understanding of what it's going to be like. But this really taught me a lot. So if anyone wants to work with Tawny, she's wonderful. She's really nice. And I mean, you're going to work hard. It's really exhausting, but I was really happy with it. So that's it.